Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am here to discuss with you all the 6 books that I read in the first 2 months of this year 2024. So all the books were really hyped up and I wanted to read them from a long time. So let's get into each one of them and know what's all the hype is about. So the first book I read was The Virgin Suicides. This book I was really very excited to read this book. Firstly, by the title, secondly, by the synopsis. So, we'll go through the synopsis first. The synopsis says that there are 5 lesbian sisters, really very attractive teenagers, and they are being wanted or being liked by various boys who are the narrators of this book. So, these sisters mysteriously get disconnected from the society and take their own lives. The thing I like the most about this book that I constantly wanted to know more about the suicides and what made them cause it, what made them do it, if that's the right word. So, but yeah, it's the writing style is beautiful. The idea of telling the story from the point of view of the boys who liked them was good. The storyline was good, but coming to the things I didn't like was the lack of focus. I really wanted to know the reason behind the suicides of these sisters, which was not really very conveyed nicely. I didn't till the end of the book. I was not sure about why this happened. So that was quite a bummer for me. This book could have been more nice, more better is not a word, okay, better, but it lost its charm. I don't know. So yeah, this was a solid 2 star for me. It could have been a 4 star for me if the focus was on the girl's point of view rather than being the focus on what the society and what the boys feel about this girl. But yeah, so overall this was the premise was very good, but as I said, the focus was unlikely towards the male characters, not on the protagonist. That should have been the girls there. But if you beautifully written, but lost its charm. So we'll go towards the second book. That is Never Never by Colleen Hoover. Oh my God! I read the synopsis before I bought the book, and it was really very fascinating. So Colleen Hoover is an author that is quite on the middle edge of the likeliness. Some people hate it or either some people love it. So yeah, this was the book where let's first discuss the synopsis. So the synopsis says that there are 2 people, Silas and Charlie. So imagine when you wake up suddenly, you don't know where you are, you don't know who your parents is, you don't know what is your name, where are you, who are your best friends, who is your soulmate, who is the person you love the most, nothing, just blank. There is nothing you remember. And now these 2 protagonists of the novel go through the similar circumstances. They don't remember anything, just wake up in the middle of the day in school and just don't remember anything. Everything is gone. So now they have to navigate towards their confusing territory and rediscover their own lives, rediscover who they are, rediscover what are their families like and who they are to each other and all. So Colleen Hoover this was a really good, well written novel. This was a 3-star for me. Any guesses now how? The people who have read it, no. The ending was horrible. It let me down. Really, it let me down. If the ending would have been justified, this book was a solid 5-star for me. There are 3 parts in the single book, part 1, part 2 and part 3. And every part leaves you on the edge of your seats. You want to read more and more and more. But at the end of it, you just have no answers at all. You're just sitting here just wondering what happened, why this book was written. So yeah, this was my review on this book. I don't know if you liked it. If you liked it, if you loved it, please don't hate me for it. These are my reviews. This is my. Uh, you can read it if you are in a reading slump. You want to get into a book. You want to get into reading. But if you want to go into disappointment, then also you can read a book. If you want to get disappointed by someone's reading, do give it a shot. So the next book I read was The Maid by Nita Prose. It had a Goodreads Choice Award for Best Mystery or Thrillers. This book enters into the Regency Grand Hotel, where Molly the maid, who is the speaker, who is the narrator of this book, is a cleaning lady there. So she is a unique kind of lady. She loves her job. She loves to clean. She loves to go into a very untidy room, messy room, and then turn it into a heaven. It's the book. The writing style of the book is like, I'll tell you one thing. It shows cleaning is an art. Turning a messy surrounding into something really very spotless and clean is an art. Wow. So the Molly is the one who does this job and loves his job. She doesn't like to take any leave. She wants to clean. She likes to clean. So there is an incident. Always there is an incident. She enters into the room and she finds a murder. And she is known to a victim. Like the victim, she's familiar with the victim, and now she traverses into the journey to find justice for that victim. Now she's also one of the suspects of the murderer, of the murdered person, but she finds her way or not. You will have to read this book. You must read this book. And if you are a Agatha Christie fan, if you love any debut novel, like to just read and never stop, you have to read this book. It will not let you down. And it was a solid 5-star and solid, perfect mystery thriller book you could ever read. Yeah. So the next book I read was The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. So I wanted to read the book The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. So I got to know from somewhere that it was kind of a sequel to The Handmaid's Tale. Handmaid's Tale is a pure classic book who has gained a lot of praise from everywhere. So this is a dystopian novel and of the world of oppression. The story takes in the fiction country called as Gilead or Gilead, whatever you want to pronounce it. A regime built on the ashes of United States. So we follow Offred, who is the narrator of this book, handmaid, who is forced to serve, and the handmaids are supposed to bear the babies of different men who are posted on high ranks. Suppose they are on army, they are on any political parties, etc. So the handmaid's task is only to bear babies. That's all. And they don't have any rights with them. They just need to sit in their confined area where they are assigned to, and they have regular checkups, regular walks, so that their physical well-being is maintained, so that they are able to bear babies with minimum effort, if that's what's supposed to they are delivered. So where this falls short, however, it has some drawbacks, but the story is on suffering. The language is very difficult. The story though on suffering, but the characters Offred is not really very deep. I was not able to relate with them. I read many books on tragedies, sufferings, but I was able to connect with them. Here there was some lack of character building. There was a lack of character building in here. So is it a must read? I think you could skip it if you like reading suffering books that will not make you cry, but yes, it will make you angry. And but if you want to read something easygoing, something you could finish it off really easily, you are stuck to that book, you should not read this book. Like it had quite a good kind of language in it, so it was a 2.5 to 3 stars for me. Yeah. Next book is A Thousand Boy Kisses by Tilly Soul. So it is a romance book. I'm not that a big fan of romance books, but I gave it a shot. I heard really very high of this book, so let's go into it. So the synopsis says that it is a book about two people, Polly, Poppy, and Rune. So these are star-crossed lovers, and the moment they met, it's like first sight, not first conversation lovers. Like you had a conversation and you just clicked with each other, and then you fall in love. So it is not a teenage love story. It is a children love story. Like they both are like 5 years, 6 years, so small, and they fell in love with each other, and they remain in love with each other. But a love story can never get better when if they do not have any trauma in it. So yes, this also have trauma in it. So the whole world challenges them into their love. So but it's not a fairy tale. Fairy tale also have trauma in it. Yeah. So Poppy and Rune face really very big, small obstacles like disappointing families, societal expectations, dark secrets that could tear them apart. I should not go into them. It's a spoiler free. So it's an emotional roller coaster. But I can guarantee I can't tell you much about this book. It's a sweet love story of two people, but I can guarantee this one thing to you, that the end of this book will leave you with a bunch of tissues in your hand so that you can wipe off your tears. It's that good. Its ending is that good. You don't want to cry, but you cry. So yeah, if you are a fan of really very sweet kind of a love story, will leave you small tears in your eyes towards the end, and you don't want to finish the book so that because you want to know more about them, so please give it a try. Yeah, it was a 4 star for me, just because it was this was the only drawback. It was slow during 50 to 60 pages, but other than that, it is great. So last but not the least book is Beautiful World, Where Are You? So first look at the cover, how beautiful it is. So the book is about 4 friends. Alice, who is a writer, author, who is facing depression. The second is Felix, who is Alice's friend, who is a warehouse worker, who met Alice and they become friends, kind of complicated stuff. And then we have Aileen, who is Alice's best friend. They are not on not talking terms right now, but yeah, they share stuff with each other. They are best friends. And then we have Simon, who is the best friend, who is a childhood friend of both Alice and Eileen. So these 4 characters are intertwined with each other. So these 4 friends go on a trip to Rome, and they discuss about that's it. That thing is there in this book. This book is like a kind of motivational, thought-provoking things just binded together in the form of a story. If you like something that will help you think about friendships, relationships, love, sex, anything like that, though, you can go and read this book. But if you like fast-paced book, you want something to happen in any book, you want to just stay invested in a book, so I don't think this is the kind of book you want to read. So just because of that, I'm not into that motivational stuff in books. So I gave it 3 stars. and it was quite difficult for me to stay on track with this book. It was really very slow read, so yeah, kind of bored as well. So yeah, I hope you liked my reviews. So these were my 6 books of January and February 2024. I hope you liked it. If you have any suggestions or anything you want me to read, just give a comment in below and stay tuned. Bye.